Mother and son who perished in Westmoreland fire identified. A woman and her son, who died in a fire that destroyed their home in Berkshire District, Westmoreland on Monday, have been identified. They are 38-year-old Keisha Walters, a hairdresser, and her 5-year-old son, Joel Brown. Reports from the Betheltown police are that about 11 p.m., residents saw fire coming from a section of the house and alerted the police and the fire department. The charred remains of the mother and son were discovered among the rubble following cooling down operations. The scene was processed and the remains removed to the morgue. The cause of the fire is not yet known. Teachers protest at Manchester schools. Teachers at the Manchester High School on Tuesday morning protested at the entrance to the institution, adding their voices to the disgruntlement among educators over wage negotiations with the government. The placard-bearing teachers dressed in black chanted, "What do we want? Livable salaries. When do we want it now?" Over at Mandeville Primary School, Principal Howard Salmon told reporters that only 29% of teachers turned up for work on Tuesday. Salmon issued an advisory to parents on Tuesday morning of teachers not available for duties because of personal business or sickness. Those students who would have been informed during the course of the morning or online, the attendance for the face-to-face is not what it used to be, he told reporters. Tuesday's protest by teachers followed Monday's sit-in at schools in at least 5 parishes. There is uncertainty about what will happen in the education sector as teachers step up their demand for an end to their wage negotiation, even as there are signals that it could lead to an all-island shutdown of schools on Wednesday. Reporters were told of planned sit-ins and sit-out by teachers up to Wednesday, when delegates of the Jamaica Teachers Association will vote to either accept or reject the government wages offer. Clarendon student hospitalized with memory loss after being hit with a stone by a schoolmate. A student at the London High School in Clarendon has been hospitalized with a head injury following an incident Monday. The student was reportedly hit with a stone by a schoolmate outside the compound of the educational institution. Reports reaching reporters are that the two students got into an argument over $100. It is reported that the now injured student hit the other, who reportedly used a stone to hit him in the head. He became unconscious and had to be hospitalized. Police, upon questioning the injured student, realized that he did not remember his name nor the incident. As a result, the other student has not been taken into custody, as the injured schoolboy is not able to give a statement to the police. Fire partially destroys Hanover supermarket. Fire of unknown origin partially destroyed Allen supermarket and wholesale in Hanover Tuesday morning. The Chinese establishment is located adjacent to the National Commercial Bank branch and court store in the capital town, Lucy. The Hanover Police Department said they received a call about the fire at 5:05 a.m. Assistant Superintendent Raymond, the officer in charge of the Hanover Fire Department, said one unit responded to the fire, which was contained to the inside of the building. He said the team had a challenge in entering the building at first, but was later able to. Fire investigators were on the location investigating the cause and estimated loss. Shop operators in Ferry Hill, Portland, counting losses following early morning fire, which destroyed 4 shops. Some shop operators in Ferry Hill, Portland, are counting their losses following an early morning fire, which destroyed 4 shops. One of the shop owner, David Brown, said he lost everything in the blaze, which started shortly before 4 a.m. Explained that the fire started at one of the shops and then spread to the others. Mr. Brown said his efforts to put out the blaze were futile. Noting that the cause of the fire is not known, he said the loss is estimated at $1.7 million.
Somebody called, knock me door hard, didn't tell me knock it off. And said, me know you're not outside. I'm saying, no. And when I get up and come outside, I see one shop on fire. Say, I wish me get angry now and still and try to out the fire. But when me try out the fire, if I get more higher than me, that me try move towards the next shop. If I still pass me, all the water which was, if I still pass, and in shop, it one shop, one shop, second shop, till the third shop, till the fourth shop. And which way what now we couldn't help you. And 4 shop burned down. Many things they lose there. Like some value, like some drinks, liquor, drinks, some tinting, some planning, quite a multitude of things. We get started where we lose in a party cost 1.7. We don't check it. We don't know what really cost the fire. We don't know we cost the fire. We try to figure out what cost it, but we can't figure out we can't find out what really cost it.
Farmer charged following stabbing incident in St. Elizabeth. A farmer is awaiting arrangements for a court following a stabbing incident in Ballas Valley in St. Elizabeth on Monday, January 23rd. Charged with wounding with intent is 31-year-old Ryan Spence of Ballas Valley in the parish. Reports are that Spence was reportedly involved in a dispute with a woman in his community about 11:30 p.m., during which another man intervened. The peacemaker was allegedly set upon by Spence and a group of individuals who beat him and stabbed him in the abdomen. The police were summoned and the injured man taken to hospital, where he was admitted. Man killed in hit-and-run accident in Westmoreland. A man is dead after he was hit by a car while he rode his bicycle along the Smithfield Main Road in Westmoreland on Monday. The deceased has been identified as 31-year-old Derval Cunningham, a former of Smithfield District in the parish. Reports from the Savannah Lamar Police are that about 10:15 p.m., Cunningham was riding his bicycle along the roadway, heading towards Ferris in the parish when a motor car heading in the opposite direction allegedly overtook a trailer and collided with him. The police were summoned and Cunningham was transported to hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The police say they have launched an investigation to ascertain the particulars of the vehicle involved in the hit-and-run accident. Klansman leader Brian found guilty of price-right murder. Andre Blackman Bryan, declared the leader of the Klansman gang by Chief Justice, has been found guilty of masterminding the 2017 murder of Domain Forrester, otherwise called Dolly, near the former Price Right supermarket in Meadowbrook, St. Andrew. According to the evidence of a Crown witness, the youth was killed because it was believed that he was running the Thompson Pen era, which was a faction controlled by incarcerated Clan strongman Tisha Miller, and they wanted to move him. He said Dolly was killed after a failed first attempt. Following the murder, he said Brian, who had remained at his house in the company of a female upon being told that the murder had been committed, said, "A long time me now kill somebody now," before retreating upstairs to the woman he had been with. In handing down the verdict Monday morning at the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston, the trial judge said based on evidence, he was not of the opinion that either the Crown's main witnesses had sufficient clout to engineer the murder, count 6 on the 25th count indictment on their own. The Crown earlier in the trial had conceded in respect of the accused, Jazeel Blake, Tommy Taylor, and Donovan Richards. Brian had been the only accused left on the count. Nation's firefighters equipped to execute duties, says Fire Brigade Commish. Jamaica Fire Brigade JFB Commissioner Stuart Beckford says several activities have been undertaken to safeguard firefighters and adequately equip them to execute their duties. Commissioner Beckford said that 130 sets of bunker gear and 150 pairs of firefighting gloves were procured in 2022. Bunker gear is a personal protective equipment worn by firefighters. He informed that the gears have a lifespan which is significantly reduced if they are not properly maintained. So, what we have embarked on over the last 3 or so financial years are to acquire machines that are equipped and specifically built to launch bunker gears. We procured 2 of those last year, he said, adding that there have since been installed. The commissioner further indicated that 13 portable floodlights were among the equipment acquired. They are massive lights that we will be able to deploy all emergency scenes. We have taped them and some of them down wherever the incident is unfolding, he revealed. The JFB's motor vehicle fleet was also boosted with the addition of 7 command vehicles and 2 box trucks. The trucks are specifically geared towards assisting the agency in its hydrants maintenance program, which currently has 2 teams, one in Montego Bay, St. James, and the other in Kingston. What we want to do is to establish 2 other additional teams. One will be working out of St. Anne, and the other will be covering Area 2, comprising St. Mary, Portland, St. Anne, and Trelawney. We also want to establish one in Area 3 in St. Catherine to take care of Clarendon and Manchester. So, these 2 units are geared towards providing transportation to take them around and to have those hydrants repair and service on a regular basis Commissioner Beckford further indicated. During 2022, the JFB repaired 1,056 fire hydrants, while 659 were inspected and 352 serviced.